Jones Day business restructuring and reorganization practice is really very broad. It includes representation of troubled companies, borrowers of every kind, and also it includes representation of creditors of every kind, bondholders, holders of loans issued under credit agreements, trade creditors, and other entities having business relationships with a troubled company. Another dimension of our practice is that while we have a very, very active and huge practice in business and commercial space, we also have a significant practice in the municipal space. And we're fairly prominent for representing municipalities that wind up confronting financial difficulties, most prominently the city of Detroit. But an even larger part of our municipal practice is representing bondholders, holders of municipal debt. And most recently, that means representation of bondholders in connection with the Puerto Rico cases. Our borrower side practice encompasses entities doing business in virtually every industry. Recently, there's been a particularly high concentration of filings in the energy space, including oil and gas, coal, and also oil field services and other businesses that are directly related to energy commodities. And the second area of concentration has been retailers. There's been a tremendous number of retailers that have encountered difficulties either because of increases in our online commerce or because of the decline in mall traffic generally. In our lender side representations, our client base really includes two kinds of investment creditors. First are investors who wind up in a distressed situation more or less by accident. They buy the instrument normally at par or at a high price, expecting that the debtor will continue to perform and that they'll never have to see a restructuring event or a bankruptcy. And the other kind of client that we represent are what we refer to as clients who engage in distressed investments on purpose. They are funds that are organized principally to buy troubled assets and distressed debt and to effectuate workouts in order to maximize their returns. In all of our representations on the investor side, we're always searching for business solutions. And in more than 90% of the cases that we handle, that's exactly what we achieve. But in fact, we're most famous for that relatively smaller percentage of cases where litigation is necessary. And we have a very, very strong litigation team that operates exclusively in the restructuring space. One of the recent examples comes out of the Caesars bankruptcy case. There we represented the second lien lenders. It was a group that held roughly $5 billion worth of second lien debt. And the borrower, which was the Caesars Entertainment Corporation, initially proposed a 9 cents on the dollar recovery for that constituency. We certainly did try to achieve a business solution. That didn't really work out very well. Litigation ensued. And after many rounds, we wound up negotiating a deal where our clients achieved a return of roughly 104 cents on the dollar. So it was really successful. There was some business improvement that contributed to that recovery, but the lion's share of it was as a result of the Jones Day litigation effort. Well, there are two major distinctions that separate the Jones Day practice from the practices of other firms. The first is the diversification of our practice between the borrower side work, representing troubled companies, and the lender side work, representing investors in securities issued by companies that run into problems. It's very balanced. I would think over time, half of our work is on the borrower side and half of our work is on the creditor side. And I think that gives us valuable perspective as well as valuable relationships on all sides of business restructuring matters. And then the second big distinction in our practice is our international capabilities. There are many firms that have offices with commercial lawyers or restructuring lawyers in the United States and one or two other jurisdictions. And we actually have lawyers with the right experience to work on these kinds of matters pretty much across the G20. And certainly in the areas that our clients are most interested in, which is, of course, the United States. Secondarily would be Western Europe, and then beyond that, Australia and Japan. And we think that is a significant advantage that over and over again our clients tell us they appreciate.